This offseason saw a lot of changes for the Dallas Cowboys as they said goodbye to several starters, including wide receiver Amari Cooper, Lyle Collins, Connor Williams, and Randy Gregory. As for replacements, they primarily used the draft, although they did try a couple of bargain free agents, including edge Dante Fowler and wide receiver James Washington. There still is room for more depth and competition at every spot, and they would be smart to look at some other teams to find that. Here, we have some targets Dallas could look for in a trade that could help out the roster for the 2022 NFL season. The Cowboys could trade tight end Jeff Swaim. This one's a familiar name since Jeff Swaim spent the first 4 seasons of his career with America's team. In that time, he played in 43 games with 18 starts and was the main starter in 2018 following Jason Witten's exit, before an injury cut his season short. Since then, he spent 1 season in Jacksonville and 2 in Tennessee. In 2021, he was a starter for the Titans, who claimed the number 1 seed in the AFC. Swaim finished with 31 receptions for 210 yards with 6 touchdowns. Swaim will take the top of a defense. He averages just 7 yards per catch in his career, but he rarely drops passes and is a solid inline blocker, which is what Dallas wants in their second tight end. Now, let's talk a little bit about the wide receivers. With Amari Cooper out, the Dallas Cowboys are putting their hopes in CeeDee Lamb as their number 1 target. They did bring back Michael Gallup on a multi-year deal, but he's also recovering from a torn ACL suffered this past January. Gallup could be back by the start of the season, but chances are high that even if he is, he won't be at 100% right away, which means Dallas will be leaning heavily on players such as James Washington and rookie Jalen Tolbert. Dallas is unlikely to find such a player right now, but they could get some darts to throw, which could include going after Paris Campbell of the Indianapolis Colts, a second-round pick from Ohio State in 2019. Campbell has yet to become the player Indy hoped he would. He struggled to stay on the field and has appeared in just 15 games so far with 34 receptions, 360 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The Colts could be ready to move on, and Dallas could be a soft landing spot for him. Not only would he give them more speed at the position, but also more depth. Last season, the Dallas Cowboys added Micah Parsons with the 12th pick in the NFL draft, and he proved to be a superstar. He won the 2021 NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year award after getting 13 sacks, and gave the front office the confidence they needed to move on from Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch. Still, he is not a lock to be a starter since his deal isn't exactly a rich one. The Cowboys would be smart to keep looking for players who might become available. One such possibility is Deion Jones of the Atlanta Falcons. Jones was a superstar to begin his career with the Birds, which was the first full season he had without defensive coordinator Dan Quinn as his coach. With Quinn in Dallas, it could make sense for a reunion as Jones tries to get back to form, and the Cowboys look for what they had with Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch back in 2018, back when both were playing well. The Cowboys have a lot of holes they need to fix, but at the moment, 3 key holes are tight end, wide receiver, and on the defensive side of the ball if they want to reach a Super Bowl.